Probably assume that, it's because Donald is still paying you in life. He's not. You are on your own.
Ability to move them forward. That's very attractive. But I also saw a vulnerability, which I think makes someone much more interesting. I do not want to ever speak negative about it.
Right,
but do we agree on everything? Absolutely not. We would be married if we still agreed on everything.
The way the system works.
Right.
I mean, I really felt that it was very offensive to both of us.
Just 3 minutes ago, television audiences were stunned as Marla Maples, Donald Trump's second wife, appeared on live TV and dropped explosive revelations that sent shockwaves through the political world and straight into the heart of Trump's inner circle. But it wasn't just Trump who was blindsided. According to sources close to the former First Family, Melania Trump was absolutely fuming as she watched the broadcast unfold in real time, her face reportedly frozen in disbelief and rage. Marla, who has largely remained quiet about her past with Trump.
You ever yelled? There's such a peacefulness about you.
Well, he and I could, because we were so different, it could get a little bit combative, as you can probably imagine.
And that's called real life.
That's life. How many exes really agree? I mean, they're exes for a reason,
They're
right?
for a reason.
Took a sharp turn during a surprise guest segment on a popular daytime talk show. What started as a nostalgic look at her time in the spotlight quickly spiraled into a full-blown expose. With a calm but pointed delivery, she peeled back the curtain on her tumultuous years with Trump.
Spiritual growth, always wanted to be the best I can, and he came with his positive ability to see the world, make money, get out there. I do not want to ever speak negative about it.
Right,
but do we agree on everything? Absolutely not. We would be married if we still agreed on everything.
Revealing everything from his erratic mood swings to deeply personal moments that had never before been made public. He was charming in public, she said with a measured smile. But behind closed doors, it was a different man entirely. The audience gasped when Marla began detailing what she described as Trump's obsession with media control.
In a marriage that you can bring out the best in each other, but after many years we realized we weren't, and then you have to move on.
That was probably attractive.
The truth is there's a lot of misconceptions about I walked away a multimillionaire. No way, you saw me working my butt throughout school.
His fixation on loyalty and his desperate need for validation, even from those closest to him. It was always about power. Everything was a transaction with him, even love. The studio fell silent as she continued. He once told me, "I don't need to win arguments. I just need to win the headlines."
I'm a Southern girl. I often just smile and keep going, but I have my own thoughts and my own views, and it's time now to express them. Sorry, Donald, if I'm saying you're vulnerable at a time, but he knows how to get what he wants, and that's what's important, and draws the energy of people together.
Within minutes of the segment airing, Melania Trump, watching from the couple's Florida residence, was reportedly livid. One insider described her reaction as furious and humiliated, especially as Marla brought up past rumors that Melania herself had worked hard to bury. Marla mentioned moments from their overlapping timelines, even suggesting Trump had maintained communications with her well into his marriage with Melania. "Let's just say," Marla said with a smirk, "he has trouble letting go." Melania's team went into damage control almost immediately, placing urgent calls to advisors and preparing a response to the bombshell interview. She feels betrayed, one source revealed. This wasn't just about Donald. This dragged her name and her marriage into the spotlight in a way she never agreed to. Insiders say Melania had already been uncomfortable with Trump's renewed presence in the media and his erratic 2024 campaign rhetoric. But this public airing of old wounds may have pushed her patience to the brink. Trump, for his part, reportedly exploded with fury when he got word of the segment. According to Mar-a-Lago staff, he began pacing and yelling, calling Marla a has-been and accusing the media of staging a coordinated attack against him.
So of course he's talking about everything he owns and has, but I saw a vulnerable man.
Probably assume that, it's because Donald is still paying you in life. He's not. You are on your own.
Ability to move them forward. That's very attractive, but I also saw a vulnerability, which I think makes someone much more interesting.
"They're all out to destroy me," he was overheard shouting. "This is sabotage." But behind Trump's bluster, concern was rising within his inner circle. Several campaign advisors were seen making urgent calls, scrambling to assess how damaging Marla's statements could be with suburban women voters, an already fragile demographic for Trump. Others warned that Melania's growing frustration could further complicate Trump's image as a family man, especially if she were to publicly distance herself in the coming days. Social media, meanwhile, lit up with reactions. Clips of Marla's comments went viral within minutes, racking up millions of views.
Did you ever think that this day would come where he would one day be president? Did he ever talk about it with you?
Gosh, yes. You know, and where are you gonna find the positive in all things? And I choose not to judge anybody else. Yeah, absolutely, it's something we've thought about doing in the '90s, but I knew how difficult it would be on the kids. I mean, Donnie, Ivanka, and Eric were much younger.
Hashtags like Melania fumes, Trump exposed, and Marla speaks began trending. Late-night hosts and political commentators began preparing their reactions in real time, with some already calling the moment a nuclear-level detonation in Trump world. Speculation is already mounting about whether Melania might finally step back from campaign appearances altogether. She has been largely absent from Trump's 2024 efforts so far, and insiders say today's events may have sealed her decision to stay out of the spotlight. One longtime family acquaintance noted, Melania plays the long game, but she doesn't tolerate humiliation. If she's angry now, Trump's going to feel it, privately or publicly. Meanwhile, Marla Maples has not issued a follow-up statement. Yet.
To me, it's a more difficult decision. You know, it's in many respects a much bigger decision.
Well, that's an irrevocable deal.
Well, it really is. In theory, it's an irrevocable deal. It's a lousy thing. I hate the concept, but it's totally necessary. And I think $1 million is a lot of money. I hate the concept of a prenuptial agreement because it basically says, if and when you get divorced, this is what you're going to get.
But her sudden willingness to speak out has fueled rumors that she may appear in a full-length televised interview or even a docuseries. If today's appearance was any indication, she's just getting started, and the Trump family knows it.
Please don't talk to me about it. I've stuck by you through everything. Don't even offend me by, you know I love you. The way the system works. Right. I mean, I really felt that it was very offensive to both of us. So I said, whatever you need for your bankers, for your associates, I'll sign that. Let's just not call it a prenuptial, and let's not put a dollar amount on what happens once we're divorced.
In just a few unscripted minutes on live TV, a long, quiet voice from Trump's past cracked open a window into his private life, and his current wife is far from pleased. The fallout is already beginning, and if today was any sign, it's only the beginning of a storm that could derail much more than just dinner at Mar-a-Lago.